Hello and good day. Welcome to our very first podcast, which is called the Donga at POLIPD Educast, our first episode series by Politeknik Port Dickson e-learning committee. Let me introduce myself. I am Madam Sharon, a lecturer in Politeknik Port Dickson. Now, the podcast for today, we will be focusing mainly on speaking during internship. Is it really necessary? Before I continue, let me introduce you to our very prestigious two young panels. First up is this very beautiful lady. Her name is Michelle Nakwa from the Secretarial Science Department of Politeknik Port Dickson. This is Michelle. And next up is a very young, handsome man called Almier bin Sangran, who's an automotive student from the Automotive Engineering Department of Politeknik Port Dickson. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Now, let's begin. Before we go on further into industrial training, I would like to know from the both of you, we will start with Michelle first. Okay. Where did you do your industrial training?
I have did my industrial training in Tanah Rata International School, Kajang.
Right.
Yeah.
What is the name of the company?
Tanah Rata International
School. Oh, it's called that?
Yeah, Sendirian Berhad.
And Almier?
My LI is at Sabah, which is Proton Melinau.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was a good spot.
What was the initial feeling when you got to know that you're going to do internship there?
So at first, I was really nervous because I was trying to figure out how would my coworkers gonna act and their attitude towards me, since I'm like new and in like indoors work we need teamwork. So yeah, I'm really nervous about that and really thinking about it.
Yeah.
Same with me. I was nervous, and then it was very overwhelming because this is my first time working, so you don't know what is there, and you don't know what to expect, and then the work that they will give you, and then the people there, you don't know how their characteristic is, so it's nervous and it was overwhelming at the first and the second week. After that, yeah.
I can imagine, but before you joined the company, were there any initial preparations that both of you did, Almier?
Well, for me, I just prepared myself for the worst because every time I work, it's better to prepare for the worst than prepare for the best.
Very
because
true.
if at the worst,
Yeah.
nothing can nothing can unface you. You are already mental already so strong over there.
Right. And Michelle?
I'll tell myself, everything is going to be fine. You're going to do great. So just, focus on what you have to do, get it done, and everything will be okay.
Did chocolates help?
Yeah.
Chocolates help? Yes,
Yeah,
chocolates
a
do
lot,
help,
a
isn't it?
lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I would like to know, during your internship, did you use English?
Yes, I do use it on a daily basis, yes.
Same.
Examples?
Usually I use English to talk with my coworkers because in Sabah well, not really in Sabah but all throughout the place. But yeah, in my place there's some coworkers who speak Chinese and English and less Malay, since in Sabah we are multicultural, multilingual. So some people don't really have a fluent Malay understanding. So it's better for them to speak in either Chinese and English. So since I'm also have ever learned Chinese before, so sometimes if I forgot my Chinese, I use English to explain and talk to them.
Basically, it's of 80% of English usage during the training. Michelle?
For me, English mainly, because we are in an international school, so we are dealing with overseas parents.
Right.
So parents that will come from India, Australia, Sri Lanka, they will come to the school. So mainly we use English. If not, I'll use another language, which is Hindi as well.
Tell me a little bit about your job scope.
My job scope is doing administration, so HR as well. So we'll manage the school office. It's different from the government school. So in international school, during the school office, we will have to handle the parents, the calls, and then the students. They will come, and also they will, like probably they'll get hurt, because the location of the school, there are a lot of hills.
Right.
So they will fall here and there.
Physical obstacle.
Yeah. So we have to when they come, we need to give them the first aid treatment. And then if say they want to call their parents, we have to handle it.
Were there any instances of such things happening?
Yeah, there was few of students broke their hand. Yeah, during the sports day, they were practicing cheerleading. So that girl flew.
Flying.
Yeah, she just flew and she broke her bone. So it was, we call the parents. We must call the parents first.
In this process, you have to use English.
Yeah.
You have to use English.
Yeah, the parents will come, and then we have to take the student, and then the parents will take to the nearest hospital. Yeah.
And Almier, you has in any instances during your industrial training whereby you faced anything of such instances?
Well, since in my work, I only confront car, like machines. Usually, I have to face danger, but usually not really, because we already have our own safety procedure, which is we drive the car right onto the hoist, lift it up, and make sure it's locked, and make sure there's no one under or near the hoist.
Yes. So the hazard.
So the hazardous is really low. It's very low risk job if you follow the procedure.
Yeah.
But the only problem that we might face is while we do the job, while we use the wrenches, the spanner, that's the only part where we have to be careful. That's why we have to wear gloves. But sometimes the glove can rip, but we don't notice since oil and stuff.
You must make sure there's first aid for you to reach very quickly. Very different scenarios. One is into teaching, and the other one is a lot of on automotive.
Yeah.
Now, when you speak to your superiors, do you do that in English?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that mostly
yes.
in English? They speak to you back in English?
Yeah.
Most of them, Most of them. Okay. How do you, I would ask you, let me rephrase this. Using English during industrial training, how has it made your English better?
For me, because I come from a mixed family, so for me English was not a problem. And then when they do speak in the school, I feel very much easy, and then you can speak with them.
You were able to adapt to the situations.
Yeah, the situations. And we'll mix sometimes English, Malay, and also Hindi. But my principal, she can't really understand Malay, so she'll use Hindi words and also mainly English.
Right.
Yeah, strictly whenever you want to talk to her, you have to talk in English.
So 90% was mostly
I can say actually 99.9% we use English. Yeah.
And Hindi in between. Almier?
For me, I started using English since, technically more speaking English every single day since my high school, since I have a English only speaking circle.
Group of friends.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's like a few of us lah. It's because they have like hard time speaking Malay. They can understand Malay, but
Speaking is a bit
yeah,
difficult.
speaking is much more better for them.
It's very important, huh?
yeah.
Who you mix
it's
with.
a very important language.
So from there, I already have like my tongue already adjusted to speaking in English, Malay. Yeah, so once at work, the only problem is at first like I was so confused. How should I talk?
Right,
Like,
because it's quite different when you are among your friends and then you go
Yeah.
into a professional
Yes.
setting.
Yeah.
Our lingo differentiates, you know,
Yeah,
there's a
correct.
different lingo. So
Yeah.
in a professional setting, do you see a difference? So you speaking to your friends and then you're speaking in a professional...
yeah, there's a very
Much
broad,
difference,
much
yeah.
difference because in
Yeah.
like professional setting, we have to make sure that our like the way we speak is like professional and not to hurt the like our superiors.
correct.
Yes.
You have to like really line the sentences
Yeah.
proper and
You
all.
have to structure it properly when you
Okay.
want to talk.
Now I'm going to talk about a little bit on the confidence level of using English in the professional setting. Of course, talking to your friends are going to be different. In
Yeah.
Polytechnic was different. But Michelle, when you were going and doing your industrial training, confidence level was how high? Maybe
Okay.
from a scale 1 to 10.
For the first, second week, it was 6,
6, yeah?
5,
Yeah.
because like I don't know what to expect. But then the third week and then continuously, I can say 9, 10.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
The confidence
The
has just
confidence has just came into me like that.
gone. And Almier? From
Well,
a scale 1 to 10?
Okay.
Initially?
Initially, I had a high confidence level in speaking. Although the only problem is like, I'm just like I always overthink. After I speak to my superiors, usually I overthink. Like, did I say anything wrong?
Yes.
Did anything can like
The grammar.
This is
actually-
another thing that I would like to address, this overthinking.
Yeah,
Like because you're like
overthinking.
young people
Yeah.
going into
Yeah.
a working environment.
Correct.
Do you reflect in English in your mind of what you've said to your
Yeah.
bosses?
yeah?
I do.
Usually yes.
I
Yeah.
do.
Any regrets?
I have to like construct my word first and then check whether the grammar is correct,
Mm.
whether I'm saying it correctly, whether I'm telling her correctly. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a bit like I did some overthinking as well.
Is there any instances where you missaid something and you regret it, and then the next day you go and apologize?
Well, technically yes, they did misunderstanding there. Like I thought the way I phrased it was it's in my understanding it's
Why
correct.
don't you give an example?
Okay, for example, so it's about a work. So technically, I have to face a customer, but the customer is a bit hard to deal with. So the way I explain to my superior is like it's be like this, and then the way my manager was understanding was a bit more different than how I said it. So
He took it in a different manner.
yeah, and then when he talked to the
Customer.
it become much more complicated. So I have to like.
What do I do?
have
Yeah,
to-
what do I do?
I have to go to my foreman to seek for help since they are much more better at explaining to the superiors than me.
So this is memorable to you.
Yes, it was very nerve-wracking. I was oh my god, what am I supposed to do? Am I going to lose like my what do you call
The
that?
marks.
The
Yeah.
marks and my what do you call that word again? I keep
Monitored?
forgetting.
You're being monitored?
No, yeah, because I'm being monitored. My performance, yes, I keep forgetting.
That you've been
Like, yeah,
evaluated
yeah.
for your performance, so
Yes.
you're worried about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Michelle, anything of that sort?
I mean like.
Especially to your principal, I think.
I've always like talk in English and then we'll mix it with Malay and then the word la
Yes,
is
of course.
always there.
You can't take
Yeah,
that
you-
out of us,
you can't.
isn't it?
Yes.
Ah,
The
we
word
always
la.
use- correct,
so,
correct.
but she will understand what we try to say. She's very how to say like spontaneous. She's just like okay with it. Like you want to talk to her, she can understand. But the thing is, she doesn't prefer us to talk in Malay with her.
Which is very good. I think that's
which
a
is
very, good thing.
Yeah. So like if we mix it also, it's okay. But then she'll tell like if it's in front of me, try to use English. Like that.
Okay. Now you have gone through this. What would you say to the upcoming interns? What is your advice to the upcoming interns?
Well, my advice will be like prepare your mind
be
since
prepared.
you don't know what's going to happen. Even how prepared you think you
Correct.
are, once you're there, you're gonna meet a lot of different people that gonna
Correct.
tell you
Different.
They're gonna try to bring down your mental. Some people like have those tendencies.
Correct.
So it's better to prepare your mental to accept anything that you can do wrong and also want to improve, which in the long run will help you in internship and also in the future.
It's funny that you mentioned that a lot of people will try to bring down your mental state and all.
Yeah.
Did that happen to you?
Well, yes, I do have some co-workers who like for some reason have a try to make my reputation bad. Like they are like to tell my boss like this and like that, and thank goodness I have like a good foreman and also a good other co-workers which I'm close with who will defend me because yeah.
Well, you can always come with a comeback that my English is better than yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Michelle, anything of that sort?
For me, no. I can say that all of my co-workers there, they are very supportive. They don't have any bad intention. It's just that they have like different way of doing the work. So you need to like with this administrator, you have to know okay how to do the work, as in the filing, or like we want to do the key in data or whatever. Like you need to know like with this person, how are you going to work with?
What's your advice to the interns? Young
Expect
interns?
the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected. I think
Yeah.
that's the key one for
Yes.
today.
Yeah.
The expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected.
Now let's talk about the language barrier advice that you would give the interns
Language barriers.
based on the language, because you will be using English
Yeah.
during industrial training.
Yeah.
So language-wise, how would you advise them to be prepared?
So, okay, I'm gonna advise this based on my experience.
Yes.
Usually, the way I learn how to speak fluently in English would be at first I would try reading out loud, like reading a book out loud.
Yeah.
And then once I'm not sure of what the meaning of the word, either I go to a person who has better knowledge than me in English, who's much more fluent and much more mastery, or I just go Google, because nowadays we have technology. So if you are shy, you can go technology. Google will
Yes.
answer any questions.
Anything, correct. Google is like the masters
Yeah.
of answers.
And then after reading, you can try speaking to a few more people. Like it may be rugged at first, like it's normal. Your tongue try to adjust to speaking.
Correct.
Yeah.
correct. And Michelle?
For me, do a lot of reading, because reading does help, and then like you can mingle with people that in the same, like giving you the positive, like okay, support you, you can do this, and then try to speak with them more fluently. For me, you have to be prepared physically and mentally as well.
So there's a lot of initial preparation before
Yes.
you walk
Correct.
into a professional setting.
Yeah.
Okay, now, Michelle, just in a few lines probably, I want you to describe your entire industrial experience that you have gone through.
It was, I can say, one of the best journey throughout 4.5 months. There's a lot of incident that happened, and then some are memorable, some are very traumatized, and I can say that for me it's good. It's a good experience. It's a good exposure for me, dealing with professional people, and then meeting a lot of other races. So for
Correct.
me, it gives me another different perspective on a way of thinking, like what I want to do next.
Correct.
You know, what I want to do with my life. Should I do this? Should I? It's like that.
I think the more you talk to people, it opens
Yeah,
up
it opens up.
horizons,
Correct.
knowledge and
Yeah.
horizons. And Almier, your
Well-
industrial training?
Well, in a nutshell, it was a roller coaster experience. I have ups and downs, and I have to, like, once I'm done with work, I have to fix my mentality. Like, it's okay. It's the first time you work for professionally and
Right.
being monitored, where your
Right.
performance really mattered. So at there I was like, okay. Next day you try better, be better, don't be worse. Don't let things to get you down.
Get to you. Never let
Yeah.
things get to you,
Correct.
correct?
Yeah.
Like, expect the unexpected, of
Yes.
course. Always do that. So, is it very positive to say that now you are ready for the working life that you are going to set your foot into? Both of you?
Well,
can
I have
say.
the confidence that I
Yeah.
can like
Same.
go through.
I
Yeah.
can.
Because experiential learning is always the best.
Yes.
The best teacher.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Almier and Michelle. Right. From the discussion, I would like to tell everybody out there that it's not difficult to walk into a professional setting. All you have to do is, like Almier said, be mentally very prepared, and like what Michelle said, always expect the unexpected. For final thoughts before I end, last words from Almier.
So anybody that's going to be doing the internship, be prepared mentally, really prepared, because that is the most important part in dealing with life, either everywhere.
Correct. And Michelle?
For me, always be prepared, and then you must prepare means in physical and also your mentality. You must be positive and take it positive. Whatever it is, just go with life, go with the flow, and then expect the unexpected.
Correct. So ladies and gentlemen, do whatever you want to do in life, but always do it with dignity. Now signing off, and until we meet for our second episode in Donga at POLIPD Educast. Till then, stay safe and Salam Madani. Thank you.
Thank you.